Hi guys, we're Lindsay and Zoe. We're going to start bringing you some fun little video tips, and with our first one we're going to talk about how to stay on track when you're going out for dinner or lunch or a meal that you're not cooking yourself. So my first tip would be to check the menu before you go. We're both pretty big on doing this. I always check the menu in the morning before I go out for lunch or dinner, pick what I'm going to have, usually like a light option, so that, you know, I'm not overdoing things, and my willpower is heaps better in the morning, so you're less likely then to pick, you know, something bad for every meal kind of thing. So
yeah. So tip number 2 is to make protein a priority with it. So instead of going just for, you know, the big pasta or risotto or something like that that's got very little in the way of meat, go for something like that's got a main part being either steak or chicken or fish, or, you know, any sort of meat based, or obviously your vegetarian plant protein options as well, because it's going to keep you fuller. You're not going to want to just keep eating and eating and eating, because you're going to be feel more satisfied from eating it as well. And if you guys have ever seen any of the stuff that we put out in nutrition, we definitely advocate eating protein at every single meal. So when you're out, there's no reason why you should change that, and
unless you've planned to change it.
yeah, that's number 2.
My third tip would be to always choose alcohol or starch. So when I say starch, we're talking about things like rice, bread, pasta, garlic bread at the start, those sorts of things. If you're going to pick those things, forego the alcohol or vice versa. So making sure that you're not just loading up on those sort of reasonably empty calories in your meals.
Yep. And then tip number 4 is, if you're having any sort of sauces with your meal, choose a tomato based one, or like a broth type one over a creamy one. So for example, if you're going for a pasta, you know, instead of choosing like the carbonara, which has got, you know, a tiny bit of protein and full of cream and butter and bits and pieces, go for more of a tomato based one, like a Napoli or a caprese. Or like with the Asian style meals, going for like the broth type, like soups and stuff, instead of a creamy one, or, you know, full of coconut milk and things like that.
Yep. As with all of our tips, you know, break the rules every now and then. So making sure that, you know, if you have planned to go out and you've been eating really, really well, plan to break the rules a little bit. You can always plan ahead and choose that you're going to get your carbonara or things like that. So there's no reason you have to just, you know, eat reasonably blandly always. Have a little bit of fun, you guys.
Definitely. And for our little bonus tip as well, if you're someone who usually has your 3 courses because you're out for a big dinner or lunch and it's exciting, so you usually go like an entree, a main and dessert, rather than going for all 3, just choose 2. So obviously you're going to have your main. I wouldn't usually go an entree and a dessert, but choose your main, and then which one you prefer, whether it be the entree or dessert. But we would recommend not having both, because you're probably going to blow pretty much your whole day's worth of calories all in one meal. So yeah, just choose both, really enjoy it, eat it slowly, try to eat to 80% full, because then you're still going to really enjoy your meal out without completely overdoing it, and also you won't get that horrible bloated feeling and, you know, the next day having that same feeling again. So you'll be right back on track with no worries.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it, you guys. Thanks for listening to our first tip.
Thank you. Bye-bye.